See how Phineas limps. Sit down. Take a load off your feet.
What is all this, honey?
I don't know.
Blame on the responsible party. We will begin with a brief prayer. Let us pray. Phineas, if you please. Now, in your own words.
What own words?
I know you haven't got many of your own. Borrow some of Jean's then.
What shall I talk about? You? I've got plenty of my own words for that.
I'm all right. You're the casualty.
Brinker, are you off your head or what?
No, that's Leper, our other casualty. Tonight we're investigating you.
What the hell are you talking about?
Investigating Vinny's accident. After all, there is a war on. And here's one soldier our side has already lost. We've got to find out what happened.
For the record, you agree, don't you, Jean?
I told Brinker this morning that I thought this was the worst.
And I said that for Finney's good, and for your own good too, Jean, that we should get all this out into the open. We don't want any stray rumors and suspicions left in the air at the end of the year, do we?
What are you talking about? What rumors and suspicions?
Never mind about that. Why don't you just tell us in your words what happened? Just humorous if you want to think of it that way. We aren't trying to make you feel bad. Just tell us. You know we wouldn't ask you if we didn't have a good reason. Good reasons.
No.
Nothing to tell?
Well then, I fell out of a tree.
Why?
Why? Because I took a wrong step.
Did you lose your balance?
Yes, I lost my balance.
You had better balance than anyone in the school.
Thanks a lot.
I didn't say it for a compliment.
Well then, no thanks.
Have you ever thought that you didn't just fall out of that tree?
It's very funny, but ever since then I've had a feeling the tree did it by itself. It's an impression I've had. Like the tree shook me out by itself.
Someone else was in the tree, isn't that so?
No, I don't think so. Or was there someone else climbing up the rungs of the trunk? I kind of forget.
I thought somebody told me Jean Forrester was...
Finny was there. He should know better than anyone.
You were there too, Jean, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, I was there.
You were near the tree?
You were down at the bottom, weren't you?
Yes, down at the bottom.
Did you see the tree shake or anything? I've always meant to ask you, just for the hell of it.
No, nothing like that.
Nutty question.
I thought you were in the tree.
Well, of course. Of course I was in the tree. Oh, you mean Jean? He wasn't in, or is that what you mean, or...
I meant Jean.
Well, of course Vinny was in the tree. And I was down at the bottom. Or climbing the rungs, I think.
How do you expect him to remember? There was a hell of a lot of confusion right then.
Kid I used to play with got hit by a car once.
When I was about 11 years old, and I remember every single thing about it. Exactly where I was standing, the color of the sky, the noise of the brakes the car made. I'll never forget anything about it.
You and I are two for people.
No one's accusing you of anything.
Well, of course no one's accusing me.
Don't argue so much.
No, we're not accusing you.
I think I remember seeing you standing on the bank. You were looking up, and your hair was plastered down over your forehead, so that you had that dumb look you always have when you've been in the water. What was it you said? Stop posing off there, one of those best pal cracks you're always making. And I think I started to pose just to make you madder, and I said, what did I say? Something about the two of us. Yes, I said let's make a double jump, because I thought if we went together, it would be something that had never been done before, holding hands in a jump. No, that was on the ground I said that to you. I said that to you on the ground, and then the two of us started to climb.
The two of you started to climb up the tree together, is that it? And he's just said he was on the ground.
Or on the rungs. I said I might have been on the rungs.
Who else was there? Leper Lapelli.
Yes, Leper was there.
Leper always was the exact type for details. He could have told us what everybody was wearing, the whole conversation that day, and what the temperature was. He could have cleared this whole thing up. Too bad.
Leper's here. I saw him going to Dr. Carhart's office this morning.
Here? Go get him. He must be in Carhart's room if he hasn't gone back home.
Yes? What can I do for you?
So that you were standing next to the riverbank, watching Phineas climb that tree?
Sure. Right there by the trunk of the tree. I was looking up. It was almost sunset, and I remember the way the sun was shining in my eyes.
So you couldn't...
And what could you see with the sun in your eyes? Could you see anything?
Oh, sure. I just shaded my eyes a little, like this. And then I could see both of them clearly enough because the sun was blazing all around them.
and the rays of the sun shooting past them. Millions of rays shooting past them like golden machine gun fire. That's what it was like, if you want to know. The two of them looked as black as death, standing up there with this fire burning all around them.
Up there where? Where were the two of them standing up there?
On the limb?
Who was where on the limb? Was one of them ahead of the other?
Well, of course.
Well, who was ahead?
I couldn't see that. They were just two shapes, and with this fire shooting past them, they looked as black as...
You've already told us that. You couldn't see who was ahead?
No, naturally I couldn't.
But you could see how they were standing? Where were they exactly?
One of them was next to the trunk, holding the trunk of the tree. I'll never forget that because the tree was a huge black shape too. Touching the tree anchored him, if you see what I mean, to something solid in all that bright fire they were standing in up there.
Then what happened?
Then they both moved.
How did they move?
They moved like an engine.
Like an engine?
I can't think of the name of the engine, but it has two pistons. What is that engine? Well, anyway, in this engine, first one piston sinks, and then the next one sinks. The one holding onto the trunk sank for a second, up and down like a piston, and then the other one sank and fell.
The one who moved first shook the other's balance.
I suppose so.
Was the one who fell, was Phineas, in other words, the one who fell first or second?
I don't intend to implicate myself. I'm no fool, you know. I'm not going to tell you everything and then have it used against me later. I'm no fool, you know. I'm not going to tell you everything and then have it used against me later. You always did take me for a fool, didn't you? But I'm no fool anymore. I know when I have information that might be dangerous. Why should I tell you? Just because it happens to suit you?
Leper, please, this is very important.
So am I. I'm important. You never realized it, but I'm important too. You be the fool. You do whatever anyone wants whenever they want it.
You be the fool now, bastard. I don't care. I don't care. Phineas! I don't care, never mind.
Wait a minute. We haven't heard everything. We haven't got all the facts.
You get the rest of the facts, Brinker. You get the rest of your facts. You collect every fucking fact there is in the world.
Okay, you jounced her. I'm jouncing it. And then you lose your balance and you're like,
You have to fall out of that?
here, ready? Let's go. I'll go.
Ew, I look like a potato.